Okay, welcome guys. Get yourselves in. Get yourselves in. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been an interesting time in the markets. All right, we're gonna start in a moment. Actually, I'll give you a bit more of a chance to get in. See you guys on the live jump in. I want to break down the NFP plays because tomorrow we know that the liquidity in the market is going to start strengthening quite a bit. And once it starts to strengthen quite considerably, then we want to be in the right direction, okay? So this is where we are right now, and you should be getting prepared, guys, for what the market has to offer. All right, I think it's going to be a very interesting market that we have going forward. And I'd highly suggest that you prepare yourselves for whatever the market has to throw at us. So due diligence is the key, guys, to making money. You guys saw how much profit was made last week, just from 120 pounds. Okay. Now, if you see me do that, then you can do it too. You just need to capture the right trade, and then we can go from there. But I want to go to the dollar index first. Let me do this. All right, so dollar index first. Let's have a look at what's going on. So let me just switch screen because the dollar index, unfortunately, is not available on the platform here. All right, so let's look at the dollar index tentatively and see what we have here. So last time we looked at the dollar index, we saw this very strong bullish run on the price. When we go to the daily time frame, we can see exactly where the price has stopped at. So notice, guys, last year we had a very strong supply zone formed here. Price went short. On the return back in November, notice we didn't get a return back into supply. So between November until recently, the market has been operating in a supply inefficiency. So as soon as we had the price get back into this area, we had a reversal straight away as a reaction. So the supply that was inside of this order block to some extent has been released. So what can we use this as to help us with the NFPs? Well, as you know, the dollar index, okay, or the DXY, as some of you may call it, all right, is our indicator or an additional confluence we can use to be able to work out what's going to happen with the dollar. Now, at the moment, we've made very good gains for the week, but it's only beginning. And from the looks of the dollar index, we are very strongly towards the bullish side. But what's holding the price back from this real bullish run is this supply zone. So if we have a close between now and even on Friday, when the NFPs actually happen, if we have a close above 94.611, we should be looking for a very strong bullish run, okay? And I am expecting that to happen. Now, at the current price that we're at 93.836. Let's look into more detail at the price. So I'm on the H4, and I'm going to drop it down to the H1 here. So let's just have a look at the order books that we've seen so far. So this order book here, or order block, containing the order block information, we've had a bullish run here. Price has broken above this zone and returned to the other side. Now, where am I pulling this zone from? Simple H4 area. So the H4 area, this is kind of the epitome of the high that we had for the last few months until we had this break above and a very strong strengthening on the dollar, okay? So when you go down to the H1 now, we see that the price accumulated here for a while, and then we had a very strong long. Now, the base of the move did not return back into this demand zone here. Now, I'm going to have to zoom in because the colors are a bit strange. But you see this low right here at 93.658. We didn't get a return back into demand. So we have a little bit of inefficiency here. Notice the price has come back on the 4th, so on Monday, and come to the low, just about underneath the low. But we still don't have the return to demand. So even though we have high and low interaction, the only issue that we have here is that the price has not returned into demand, which is what we're waiting for. So I'm looking at the dollar index to give us one more push downwards, probably into tomorrow, and before we see a reversal for Thursday and into Friday, which means if this dollar index price action gets into this order block before Friday, then I'm expecting the NFPs to be positive. Now, the ADP results will help us to make a good assumption as to what the price is doing. But in reality, I do think we are going to see a very strong, definitely a very strong long on the dollar. I'm quite bullish on the dollar, and I do think the dollar is going to give some very strong price action moving forward from there. So this is my pure suggestion as to what the price is going to do. And I want to see how far we can drive the price. So saying that, my top pick for the week is pound USD. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my funded account now because we have institutional liquidity. It would help a bit more to see what the price is trying to do. So I'm going to switch over now. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. So pound USD is my favorite play for the week. All right. We've had an absolutely amazing short. Now the short trigger, I gave you guys an insight into that. We had this H1 order block here, supply order block. And if I drag the price now, because a lot of has happened since that point, gonna have to come back a little bit here. So look at this bear trap here. So we have a bear trap that trapped bearish liquidity in the market, and then we went long. As soon as the price broke beneath this zone and returned to the other side, this was our entry within the Wealth Group Academy, and we had a short all the way down about 336 pips, which was an absolutely amazing trade. Now, the week after, when the new week started, okay, we had a bull trap formed here, and the price returned into this zone for another short. Now, for me, I believe that the pound fundamentally is going to be going short. We have a lot of issues going on with the petrol stuff and other supply issues that are going on and supply bottlenecks within the country. And looking at the dollar index, the US dollar is definitely going to be gaining more strength as time goes on, especially as with the tapering going to be in effect very soon. When the US dollar tapering starts to happen, we are going to see some crazy strengthening on the dollar for the short term anyway, short to midterm. All right. Now, I'm watching this area right here, and I want to explain this to you very importantly. Please pay attention to this. So when we look at the pound versus the US dollar here, we've had a very strong bullish run for the last 10 months. This order block has been the only demand zone controlling bullish activity. For the first time in over 10 months, we had a close beneath this area, and now we've had a return to the other side, which means that we have a reoptimization of demand for supply. So this reoptimization for supply means that we should be looking for a short. Now, currently, the price is making headway for the long side. And you can see even from this daily structure here, if I took this swing from the top, here is an A swing right here. So if I was to map this out in terms of market harmonics, here is A right here. Okay, and then bringing this down right here, we have B. And so all we really need is the formation of C, which, so to me, from what I can see from the price action, there's two options. I believe that the body of the candle will stay inside of this D1 zone, but I'm expecting pound USD to overshoot a little bit and get into this supply zone area. So I'm expecting an impending short very soon. And from this short, guys, you wouldn't want to close, because the next targets that I foresee for the pound versus the US dollar would be all the way back down to the 1.30 region. Now, on the way up, during 2020, there was a lot of inefficiencies that the market didn't address, which I believe in this time right here, where we have a scenario where the price can actually go short, I believe the price will address those inefficiencies. So I'm really excited about this trade. That's almost 600 pips from where we are. So if the price does drop from here, from the 3.6 all the way down here, we're looking at over 600 pips, 611 pips, which for me means I can hit 2 targets on my funded account. And I could also make some serious money on my personal account. So it's looking good for the pound. And I believe that the short trigger is going to start this week. Now, I really want to see how the price is going to fare out. Okay, I don't see any reversal signature on the downside. The price has just taken a natural retracement. So we just need a short trigger that is going to be strong enough for us to be able to make a decision as to what to do. So this is why pound USD is on my list. All right. USDCHF is another one. Now, USDCHF has actually come back all the way to beneath the low of the previous week. Now, on the H4 and other charts, the price has taken the low and gone for a long. Now, I do think USDCHF is supposed to go long. We have at least the price needs to reach this area right here before it starts to sell off. And we're still in a good region for that. My only issue is that there is a bit of conflicting information between the price feed of Hugo's Way and the price feed of this broker here on the funded account. So they both classify the previous week's low as being run with a wick, but then we have 2 body closes on the H4. And if I go to Hugo's Way and I look at USDCHF on the H4, so if I just get rid of my markings here, USDCHF is being read as completely a wick closure beneath the previous week. So triggering some sort of reversal signature possibly for the future. Okay. So the price feed is slightly different here. And so I'm going to have to watch on other factors here to see what the price is trying to achieve, whether it's going to go short straight away or whether the price is going to do another short down before, a long straight away, or if the price is going to go short and then produce a long afterwards. So this is why I'm keeping my eyes peeled on what we have going over here. Okay, so let's have a look and see what the price is doing. So USDCHF, if it was to go for a long, I would like to see very clean market structure break, at least an hourly market structure break. Now, the only swing high before this movement happened would be here. So we would need, in essence, USDCHF would have to have a H1 body close above here. And then the price would have to come back here to get into demand before I would say, okay, go for a long. All right. Now, this can potentially happen between today and tomorrow. It just depends on what the price wants to do. Okay. And this will be the other major telltale sign, even more than just the lows. If I see this price action here, then USDCHF would be a definite long. Now, if the US dollar is going to be the dominant factor for the next few months, then USDCHF should be really going very strongly long, whilst pound USD is going short. Now, pound USD, of course, has its own fundamentals as to why it's going short, but the strengthening dollar that we're seeing right now or potentially happening very soon would also add to that effect. So same thing with USD Swiss franc. So I'm watching carefully as to what the price is trying to achieve here. So far, so good. The price has done, since the price took the low, just about 60 pips. But I want to see what else the price can give us, and we can take it from there. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled. The price on pound Japanese yen, which is my final option. Now, pound Japanese yen probably will be the one that I would take, because on the funded account, when the NFPs are about to come out, they would want you to close your position. Unless you're in deep profit, then that is not an issue. But pound Japanese yen has done a major short, and we've just had a return back for a major long. And to me, it looks like the price is pulling back full circle. Now, pound Japanese yen, in order for us to get a short, I would like to see the price return back into this order block right here. Okay, we had a reversal signature, and I used the H4 to show you the line. I'm expecting the price to pull back into this region right here, and from there we should be seeing a short. So be prepared, guys, because pound Japanese yen is another major opportunity, and I think the first target for pound Japanese yen will be beneath these lows, all the way down to 147. Now, ideally, we'd want 148. So 148, 141, which is the low of February. Now, the low of January is part of a liquidity void. So if I go to the weekly here, the liquidity voids where we had this injection of liquidity long ends at 139,321. Not hard to forget, easy to remember, 139,321. So for me, when I look at the price action here, my suggestion is that we should be looking for a short around this period of time soon. I'm hoping that pound Japanese yen actually might show the reversal signature tomorrow night or tonight. It does definitely depend on quite a few factors, but looking at the price action here, pound Japanese yen is looking very ripe and juicy. So pound Japanese yen is on my top list. And again, because I'm on the funded account, I want to swing this trade. I'm not going to close it on Friday. I'm just going to leave the price to do what it's doing. So from there, I'll expect, I would like to see what the price does from there. So anything from here, guys, would be a treat. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Keep yourself peeled, eyes peeled. I would say if you can get into positions that have pound fundamentals at the moment, then you can avoid the volatility of the NFPs, which is one of my strategies at the moment. Because the pound has very strong bearish fundamentals and it looks like it's going to get worse, it would be very helpful to trade the pound short at the moment whilst, things take place. Okay. So if you can get into pound Japanese yen instead of pound USD, then you can have a lot more profit, because for those of you, I'm talking for those of you who are funded, if you're allowed to hold your positions during the news, then it's okay. But I know there are people that are funded that cannot actually do that. So I would say just keep your eyes totally peeled on what the price is doing. And from there, we can make decisions as to where to go. Okay. So my people, I hope you guys enjoyed this. All right. If you have any questions, you know where I'm at. Give me a shout and we can catch up very soon. All right. Take care, everybody. And I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow.